The two brothers murdered their parents and then spent months on a luxurious spending spree, but they argue they're not guilty. What did the Menendez brothers do this? Jose and Kitty Menendez were shot and killed in their Beverly Hills home on August 20, 1989. Who are the offenders? Erik and Lyle Menendez, their two own children. Lyle and Erik claim that they killed their parents because they truly feared that their parents would murder them first. They said that Jose was a sexually harassing, violent father, and that Kitty was his drug-addled helper. But the judges concluded that money was a far more conceivable motivation. Jose left millions to his two kids upon his death. But why did the Menendez brothers kill their parents? Numerous people are disturbed by this question. One of the most well-known criminal trials in modern times began with their case, which stunned the country. Unsure about which story of event to believe, after you've heard all the information, make your own decision. Hello viewers, today in this video, we will discuss about the Menendez brothers, a tragic tale of wealth, abuse, and murder. So hold your seat belts and let's begin the video. The Menendez brothers story. Cuban-born Jose Enrique Menendez was a successful corporate executive who built his own entertainment company to provide a well-to-do life for his family. Kitty was able to quit her teaching job and become a stay-at-home mom after her first son, Joseph Lyle Menendez, was born, and the family relocated from New York City to a lovely suburb of Gloucester, New Jersey, where Erik was born 2 years later. There, the two brothers attended the private co-ed Princeton Day School. Jose's work brought the family to Beverly Hills in 1986, where Lyle and Erik went to Beverly Hills High School, a public school. While there, Erik received average marks but proved himself as a superb athlete, placing 44th in the nation among players under the age of 18. The only mistake each child had ever done before the day of the killings was plagiarism, for which Lyle was ultimately suspended from the highly esteemed Princeton University. Lyle then returned to the East Coast to pursue his studies there. Trouble behind closed doors. From the outside, Lyle and Erik Menendez appeared to have the ideal life. They were raised in big, well-to-do homes in desirable districts by prosperous, accomplished parents. Their mother dedicated her life to adoring her two sons, and their father was a bright and diligent worker. But behind closed doors, Lyle and Erik said, things were very, very different. The Menendez brothers claimed Jose mistreated them, both emotionally and physically, as well as his wife. Additionally, they claimed that their father mistreated them sexually and got them started on penis massages at an early age. The boy's cousin, Diane Vander Molen, claims that Lyle revealed in her that he was being abused one summer when they were visiting Erik and Lyle, though she has no hard proof for this as well. She told this to Kitty, but Kitty accused her of lying, so they never discussed it again. How did the Menendez brothers kill their parents? In the den of their expansive Beverly Hills estate, Jose and Kitty were enjoying a movie on August evening in 1989, when Lyle and Erik entered the room carrying shotguns, and with that, the boys opened fire. Jose was shot 6 times, once in the back of the head at close range. Despite being shot 9 times, Kitty got to survive. After leaving a trail of blood, she was discovered laying in the hallway, indicating that she had made an incredible attempt to flee, as Lyle stepped outside to reload his weapon. When he came back, he delivered the fatal shot to the side of her face. The boys planned to wait for the police to respond to the sound of gunshots, but they never came. So the two brothers got in the car and began to prepare their alibi. They drove to a movie theater and bought tickets to a movie, then disposed of their guns, blooded clothing, and spent shotgun shells in different locations. Lyle called 911 as soon as he got home at midnight, screaming to the operator that his parents had been slaughtered. Lyle and Erik gave the cops a big story about how they had wanted to watch the new Bond film, License to Kill, but the line was too long, so they ended up seeing Batman instead. Then, they claimed to have attended Santa Monica's annual Taste of LA festival. When they got home, they were horrified to find their parents had been murdered by what seemed to be a hit from the mob or the cartel. After all, both had the telltale shot to the kneecap. The cops offered the boys their condolences and let them go because they had no reason to believe anything else. Life after the murders of Jose and Kitty Menendez. Lyle and Erik spent about $1 million during the course of a period of 6 months. They took luxurious trips to the Caribbean and London. Lyle invested in a restaurant, a Porsche, and a Rolex. Erik started competing in the international tennis circuit and hired a full-time tennis coach. They rented a few penthouses in Santa Monica and sold their Beverly Hills estate. As the inquiry went on, the authorities started to believe Lyle and Erik might be behind the killings because of their lavish spending habits and the money they received. The police ordered one of Erik's friends to wire and interrogate him about his involvement in the killings in an effort to force a confession. Erik furiously denied it. However, Erik's resolve wasn't as strong as it seemed to be, and it didn't take much longer for the truth to come to light. The confession and arrest of the Menendez brothers. Disappointed by his own guilt, Erik admitted to killing his parents in front of his psychotherapist, Dr. Jerome Maziel, during a session. Lyle was furious. When he took part in a later therapy session, Lyle was so menacing that Dr. Maziel genuinely feared for his life. It turns out that he had good reason to suspect this. After the appointment, Lyle and Erik talked in their car, and Lyle asked Erik how they should kill the doctor, since he was aware of the truth about their parents' death, which they would later reveal to him. This case serves as a dark reminder of Dr. Maziel told his fiancée what boys had told him out of fear for his life, and it was she who reported the incident to the authorities. Lyle was arrested on March 8, 1990. Erik was in Israel for a tennis tournament at the time, but turned himself into the police upon his return on March 11th. Lyle and Erik Menendez are tried in court. The question of doctor-patient confidentiality held up the case for nearly 2 years. However, it was eventually ruled that, because Lyle had threatened Dr. Maziel directly, he had voided any right to confidentiality the brothers might have had. The two boys were put on trial at the same time, although before separate judges. After being broadcast, the trials gained widespread media attention. The defense team for Erik and Lyle contended that the brothers were forced to kill their parents. Erik stated in his testimony that Jose threatened to murder him if he didn't hide the sexual abuse he suffered from his father when he was a little child. In court, Lyle stated, "I thought we were in danger. I felt he had no choice. He would kill us, he'd get rid of us in some way." Furthermore, they had relatives who spoke in favor of them, cousins Andy Cano and Diane Vander Mullen, who knew about the pedophilic abuse. Further evidence included a picture of Lyle and Erik's genitalia that they said their father had taken when they were kids. On the other side, the prosecution made a strong case about the brothers' carefully devised plan to stage the murder of their parents and then live a life of luxury and prosperity with the inheritances they would receive upon their parents' death. They weren't exactly the picture of grief or remorse, as they seemingly celebrated getting away with murder by treating themselves to everything their hearts desired. Both jury trials resulted in a deadlock. The judge suppressed testimony on the sexual abuse during their trials. Additionally, he refused to allow the jury to decide between manslaughter and murder charges. The brothers' struggles at the hands of their parents were therefore met with significantly less sympathy from this jury. On 2 charges of first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder, Lyle and Erik Menendez were found guilty. Both received life sentences without the chance of release. Life after the Menendez trials. The Menendez brothers made several attempts to get their case appealed, but the Supreme Court of California, the United States District Court, and the United States Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit all refused. The guys spent the most of their sentence in several prisons. Both men got married while imprisoned. Erik married Tammy Ruth Sackerman in 1999, and Lyle married Anna Erickson in 1996 before getting married to Rebecca Sneed in 2003. After spending more than 20 years apart, the two brothers were reunited in 2018, and reports indicate that they immediately started crying with happiness. They both currently live in a jail for prisoners who agreed to participate in a program of education and rehabilitation. The Menendez case in the media. The Menendez case has been widely featured in popular media ever since it first aired on television 30 years ago. The case has been the subject of SNL jokes, a Law and Order episode, multiple documentaries, and true crime television specials. The brothers hope that the renewed interest in their case, in addition to new evidence proving their father sexually abused an underage member of the boy band Menudo, could result in a retrial with their charges being dropped. Viewers, this was the tragic story of wealth, abuse, and murder. Viewers, what you can say about this case, please tell me in the comment box. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth true crime stories. And if you or someone you know is struggling with dark thoughts, please reach out to a mental health professional. Until next time, stay safe, take care of yourself, and I meet you in new interesting video.